The Alliance has agreed to a summit meeting with the Dominion to discuss the return of the Hur'q, and what can be done to prevent their aggression from devastating all 4 galactic quadrants. Despite recent events, we've agreed to host the summit at Deep Space Nine. None of the galactic powers are comfortable hosting a Dominion fleet deep within their territory. Meet with me at DS9 prior to the beginning of the summit. I'd like to discuss our options.
Please, we're low on fuel and supplies. We need help, badly.
Come on. The High Council has announced several challenges to the Empire, worthy of a warrior such as yourself. Would you like to review them?
This is Station Control. Welcome to Deep Space Nine. Your docking clearance has been authorized. Several of our docking facilities were damaged in the recent conflict. Please proceed to the provided coordinates. Also, Captain Nog is waiting to meet with you on the promenade at your earliest convenience. Enjoy your stay here at the station.
Hello. Nice to be working with you again. I've been assigned to assist you here on the station. The leaders of the 4 major delegations have asked to meet with you prior to the summit meeting. Their offices are located here on the promenade. Admiral Quinn's office is behind those doors.
The results of this summit could have long-lasting effects. A number of our allies, particularly the Klingons, consider the Hur'q to be a Dominion problem. The Federation sees this as a chance to improve relations with the Dominion. Having allies in the Gamma Quadrant instead of enemies would be a great step toward galactic peace.
Ambassador Odo is here, coordinating security efforts.
I'll be blunt. The Hur'q have decimated most of the Dominion. All but one fleet, gone. It's all the Jem'Hadar can do to keep our remaining worlds from being laid waste. There is no diplomacy with the Hur'q. We don't know why they're attacking. We're not even sure where they're coming from. I'm sure there are those in the Alliance who would be content to let the Hur'q destroy us. But where do you think they'll turn once they're finished?
Chancellor Jem'Hadar has an office here.
This summit may not end well. Most of the High Council sees the Hur'q as a Dominion problem. They are content to let them fight to the end and deal with any survivors. But there are others, such as Martok, who see that position as dishonorable. If they want to fight the war of their ancestors, so be it. But they will be doing so without the Empire. The same could be said for your Federation, should they choose to aid the Dominion.
Nice to see some fighters around here. You're here to fight the Hur'q, aren't you? Someone has to, before they eat everything in existence. Some of the other Gamma refugees will moan and groan about this part of space, but I like the Alpha Quadrant. The Bajorans are processing iridium ore here again, and there's good, honest work for people willing to do it, like me. Most of the Bajorans won't go near the processing areas. Too many bad memories about how the Cardassians ran them, I guess. That's good and well, just means more work for me. Beats working for the Dominion, I can tell you that much. I might never go back. Nice to see some fighters around here. You're here to fight the Hur'q.
Here is Proconsul Deton's office.
The Borg won't negotiate, and they won't stop. We are the only thing that stands between them and the Alpha Quadrant. It is good to see you.
This summit may be difficult. While your people will see a path toward peace, I suspect the Klingons will feel the opposite. There is no love lost between them and the Dominion, or the Hur'q for that matter. The Republic position is one of pragmatism. A weakened Dominion will be easier to deal with, and the Hur'q are a threat no one can ignore.
There are several Alpha Quadrant leaders here for the summit. Kai Kira of Bajor, Counselor Garrick of Cardassia, and my father, Ferengi Grand Nagus Rom. I recommend meeting with them as well. Their worlds will be on the front line if the Hur'q launch a full invasion into this quadrant. It looks like Counselor Garrick is in his old tailor shop. Huh.
Hello there. I take it you're not here to update your ensemble, though if you'd like a few suggestions, I'd be happy to provide some. In the meantime, let's talk about serious business, shall we? I'm sure you'd like to know Cardassia's position on the Hur'q problem. It's simple, really. They're a menace, and one we should deal with swiftly. Surprised? Don't be. Cardassia was recently attacked by the Hur'q. We'd have fared poorly without help from our neighbors. Even the Lukari and the Ferengi offered a hand. I trust this lesson isn't lost on you. If we stand alone, we're doomed. Once upon a time, when I was but a tailor. That was before plain, simple Garrick became a member of the Detapa Council, of course. Before the Reconstruction and the Iconian War and the Hur'q. While I'm proud of the work I've done for Cardassia over the years, there's a part of me that yearns to be here once more. To be just a tailor, just Garrick. Will there be anything else?
My father is in my uncle's bar. Hard to believe he used to work there, huh?
I was wondering when you'd come along. I'm guessing you're here to talk about the Hur'q and what we want to do about them. It's no secret that the Ferengi aren't a military powerhouse like the Klingons. Most of the time, we'd be happy to make a tidy profit from all of this, and as far away from it as possible. That changed when the Hur'q attacked Ferenginar. We would have been wiped out without help. And we didn't get it from Starfleet or the Klingons. We got it from the Lukari and the Cardassians. Even a few not cool ships showed up to fight. That showed us that this is everyone's fight, big or small. So we're in. And if the 34th rule of acquisition comes into play, well... It wasn't easy, believe me. I've managed to get the Board of Liquidators with us, for now. Most of them see the potential for incredible profit. Alliance defense contracts can be very lucrative. The rest? Well, let's just say their self-preservation instincts are strong. They'd rather fight with the Alliance than stand alone. The Hur'q have me thinking about adding a new rule of acquisition. If they can't be bought, get ready to fight! Did you have another question?
I believe the Kai is here, in the Bajoran Temple.
Hello there. I suppose Admiral Quinn sent you down here to see where Bajor stands. I can tell you we're worried. The Hur'q were a few ships away from ravaging our homeworld, and if the Dominion falls, they'll be back, and we'll be the first to face them, so Bajor stands ready. We'll do what we can to stop the Hur'q, even if that means joining forces with the Dominion. There's something else I should mention. I've experienced visions recently, a sign from the prophets. I see a place I've been before, a world beyond the grip of death. It's the home of a former Kai, and it's in the Dominion. I should also mention that I've seen you in this vision as well. I believe we're going to take a journey together soon. As Kai, I'm obligated to serve the will of the prophets. Doing so leads me to many places, not just Bajor. That can be difficult, especially in times of war. There's been a lot of that in the last few years. First the Dominion, then the Klingons, the Iconians, and now the Hur'q. There are times when I wonder how Ben Sisko managed during the Dominion War, and he was the emissary. I've tried to follow his example whenever possible, but it's been a challenge. Something else on your mind?
The Alliance has asked a number of special consultants to attend the summit. I know each of them well, and I can vouch for their knowledge and skill, even my Uncle Quark. Despite his reputation, his knowledge of the Gamma Quadrant is valuable. Just don't mention Latinum in the discussion, or the value of his information could rise considerably.
Don't suppose you're here for a drink? Holosuite? Dabo? Can't blame me for trying to find profit while I can. My fool of a brother, the Nagus, seems hell-bent on getting the Ferengi into this mess. Not a lot of profit in fighting the Hur'q, 34th rule or not. You can't spend your money when you're dead. If you ask me, we'd be better off sealing that wormhole and saying goodbye to the Hur'q and the Dominion forever. I'd miss the Tulaberry wine, but I'd get over it. But seeing how that'll never happen, especially as long as Kira's still breathing, I suppose I'll have to dig in like everyone else. You know what the worst part of this mess is? Odo. He's back like a kind of ghost haunting me. I must be cursed. I do. And I'd be there, enjoying myself, if it weren't for the Grand Nagus. Brother or not, I wanted nothing to do with this until he put Lucari terraforming tech on the table. Couldn't pass that up. It'll cut biosphere renovation costs on my moon by 70%. Even with Odo here, and a billion Hur'q trying to demolish everything in sight, there's profit in the wind. Might finally land that exclusive Tula Berry export contract I've been dreaming about for 40 years. Can I get you something?
Ah, Admiral Quinn's attaché. Nice to meet you. Dr. Julian Bashir, recently commissioned Starfleet officer, at your service. We're doing what we can to get things in order after that business with the Zenkethi and the Hur'q. The station took quite a beating, worse than I saw during the Dominion War. We're still treating casualties, and it looks like we'll be seeing more soon. A lot more. The situation is compounded by the presence of civilians, both local and from other systems, even the Dominion. We have a number of refugees from the Gamma Quadrant on the station, and more are on the way. Clearly, the sooner we can solve the Hur'q dilemma, the better. We'll be beyond our capacity to help the refugees soon, as will Bajor. I mustered out some time ago to start a private practice on Trill. Since then, I've worked on special projects for Starfleet from time to time as a consultant. Even managed to start a family. Needless to say, I wasn't initially thrilled with the idea of putting the uniform on again. Still, it's very hard to say no to Kai Kira and Captain Dax. And so here I am, back on the front of an interstellar conflict. Here's hoping it's a brief one. Something on your mind? I mustered out some time ago. Something on your mind?
Hello. Oh, it's been a while since I've been in this place. I can't believe Quark still has that hollow me in here. It's a little embarrassing, to be honest. I wish we were all here under better circumstances. Then again, DS9's always been a trouble magnet. I guess peace is a little too much to ask for out here. My husband is risking a lot of capital, political and otherwise, by choosing to get involved with all of this. Fortunately, he's the best Grand Nagus to come around in a long time. The best ever, as far as I'm concerned, but I'm pretty biased on that point. Look, if I were this mirror version of me I've been hearing so much about, I'd have a lot more tactical advice to offer. As it is, my advice to you is this. Take a look around. Think about all the civilians, the refugees, people who are depending on you to protect them. Think about the best way you can do that, if you can. That's what I'd do if I were in your shoes. Boots, whatever. Yeah, in that alternate universe where good people are evil and vice versa, turns out the evil version of me is an admiral there. Real piece of work. Wears lots of leather, carries a whip. Oh, and she's in command of the evil Enterprise. I found out about her from my husband's information gathering specialists. Never hurts to be well informed, right? Rule of acquisition number 7. Keep your ears open and your eyes on the mark. Was there something else?
There's a number of refugee groups here on the promenade.
It must be a surprise seeing Koremans here on a Federation station. Let that sink in for a minute. It's so bad in the Dominion that its citizens are looking for safe haven with their former enemies. We were the lucky ones. We got out early. I've heard rumors about a blockade, keeping the rest of us from leaving the homeworld. It might be true. I haven't seen any more Koremans arrive here for a while now. Oh, please. The Founders have forsaken us. Don't let the Alliance turn their backs on us, too.
We're lucky to be alive, friend. There was little warning before the Hur'q attacked our homeworld. We sent a call to the Founders, but no Jem'Hadar ships came. Our local defense force didn't last long. A few of us managed to get away on ships before the Hur'q closed in. Word of the Bajorans and their faith reached us after the war ended. Their stories about one of their spiritual leaders. She came to the worst of us, on our prison moon, to bring the wisdom of the prophets. So, when the Hur'q came, we decided to come here, through the Celestial Temple, to seek deliverance. If the Founders won't listen to us, perhaps Kai Kira and the prophets will.
Quinn here. The summit will begin soon. I'd like to go over what you've learned. Interesting. The Klingon and Romulan positions were somewhat predictable, and I'm surprised by the resilience of the Cardassians and Ferengi. I'm also concerned about the Gamma refugee issue. We'll need to work with the Bajorans to manage the situation here. We should get to the conference room. Report to me there when you arrive. Well, everyone's here and no one started shooting. Could be worse. That was a joke. Take a moment to relax, speak with the others. Things will be serious soon enough.
I'm glad you're here. I've been feeling conflicted lately. All the worlds we saved from the Zenkethi were also home to thousands of dormant Hur'q. By saving those planets, we also saved a great number of enemies. Those very enemies have since attacked a number of worlds, including my own. You're right, of course. If only there'd been another way to resolve things. If the Zenkethi would have listened to reason. I suppose we should place our hope in working together to stop the Hur'q. I can't help but think there's a path to peaceful resolution in all of this. There's got to be some way to end this madness before more lives are lost.
Hello again. I spoke with Odo about the vision we discussed. He's agreed to clear a mission to the old sector. Opaka, the former Kai I mentioned, lives there now. I believe so, yes. The Kai has a condition that has prevented her from leaving until now. Odo has provided us with data that could lead to a cure. If there's a chance, I'm willing to take it. Her wisdom could help us all greatly. I realize this is a lot to take in, but I hope I can count on your help when the time comes.
Greetings. I am Weiyun 10. I'm glad we had this moment to talk before the summit begins. I trust you relayed everything you learned from us to your superiors. If I may be so bold, I hope that you conveyed a need for cooperation with the Founders as well. At least in matters regarding the Hur'q, if not in all things.
Jem'Hadar is more of a political creature than he was. Well, when we were both a lot younger. He's not willing to face the truth. There are Klingons who fear the Hur'q, hiding behind politics and rules. Grethar waits for their worthless souls. Know this. There are still Klingons who know where their blades belong. We will not dishonor our ancestors and ignore the Hur'q. We will fight them to our dying breath in the name of Kahless and the Empire!
If I can have everyone's attention, thank you. Let's begin the summit. We have a lot to discuss. Thank you all for coming. By now, you should be aware of our tactical situation. The Dominion, as you know it, is on the verge of collapse. We've withdrawn to our core systems, and the lines are holding, for now. Without your help, the Hur'q will win the war of attrition.
What about your outer systems? We're receiving refugees here, from those areas.
We have one fleet left, Admiral. That's hardly enough to defend the entire Dominion.
I'm failing to see how this concerns the Empire.
The recent battle here is a sample of what the Hur'q can do.
If you think they'll stop at the wormhole, you're sadly mistaken.
Need I remind you that the Dominion came to your aid in the Iconian War? I seem to recall Klingons placing high value on debts of honor, or has that changed?
Mind your tongue, changeling! I will not be insulted!
Admiral Quinn to Ops. What's happening?
We're under attack, Admiral. It's the Hur'q. Reading Hur'q boarding parties. Multiple decks. They've concentrated in the damaged pylon. Ore processing area.
I need you to get to that damaged pylon section and lock it down before the Hur'q trigger an explosion that could wreck the station.
Bad news. The hangar security shield is on the verge of collapse. If it drops, you'll get pulled out into space, so let's make sure that doesn't happen. You need to stabilize the power relays and recalibrate the shields. There are consoles near your position you can use to do this. Nice work, but it's not over yet. The Hur'q have moved into the ore processing area above your position. There's a lot of unstable uridium ore in there. If they damage it, it could ignite and set off a chain reaction that could destroy the pylon. You'll need to make your way up there to secure the area and restart the safety systems there. Looks like the access system in this section was reset. You'll need to rotate the central column and Okay, you're almost in the clear. The safety systems for the area are currently offline. You'll need to restore power to that section and reinitialize the safety systems to get everything back online. All right, the safety systems are reinitializing. They should be up and running in a few minutes. Nice work. Hold on. I'm picking up multiple Hur'q life signs in your area. They're converging on your position. I need you to defend that section from the Hur'q until the system comes online again. If they get in before that happens, they could knock it offline again, or worse.
The Hur'q are attacking the station and several civilian vessels in the system. I've sent ships to assist them, but I'm concerned our forces are spread too thin. I'd like you to work with those ships to protect the civilians while the rest of us defend the station. First Dukan Rex will accompany you as a combat escort.
Starfleet vessels, this is Quinn. Protect civilian targets.
Nice work, but I'm afraid there's bad news. We're picking up Hur'q vessels and they're heading our way. The station's weapon systems are offline. We need a few minutes to get them up and running. Until then, we're a sitting duck over here. I've asked every ship in the sector to regroup and prepare for battle. Let's hope it's enough.
Honor your ancestors! Fight now and destroy the Hur'q! Concentrate fire on their capital ships!
Chief, I need those systems online!
online in 60 seconds.
Don't let the frigate swarms get behind you.
Just a few more seconds. Systems online! Target the Hur'q and open fire!
That was the last of them. We're not picking up any Hur'q ships on long-range sensors. For now, at least. I think it's clear that the Dominion is prepared to work with you to stop the enemy. I hope the Federation is ready to do the same. In the meantime, our fleet will do what it can to keep the Hur'q on our side of the wormhole. Tell Admiral Quinn not to wait too long to make a decision. This will reach the Federation faster than anyone would like, believe me.
The Hur'q threat is real, and we can't afford to let it expand throughout the galaxy. There will be resistance to getting involved, but I believe we have no choice. The Federation must render aid to the Dominion if we're to have any chance of stopping the Hur'q onslaught. In the meantime, Kai Kira of Bajor has requested a mission to the Innis system, and Ambassador Odo has authorized it. The Kai has asked for our assistance on this, and she asked for you by name. Whatever she needs, make it so.
I need your help with a very sensitive mission. A former Kai, Opaka, was trapped on a prison moon in the Gamma Quadrant in 2369. Alien nanotech in her system prevents her from leaving the moon, but it also sustains her life indefinitely while on the surface. It seems the wardens of the prison were planning on curing and granting amnesty to the prisoners until their planet was decimated by the Hur'q. Somehow, the Dominion managed to obtain the cure, and they've provided it to us as a peace offering. The moon hasn't been hit by the Hur'q, but it's only a matter of time. We need to cure Opaka and the others and get them out of there before that happens. Something else on your mind? Good, we've arrived. I suggest scanning the prison moon and its satellite network. They might have fixed the design flaw we exploited here years ago to bypass their defenses.
Those satellites could cripple a Starfleet runabout with one shot back then. I'd rather not find out how powerful they are now, if you don't mind. Looks like the satellite weapon and defense systems were updated to deal with modern vessels, but they still have the same flaw that Mars O'Brien took advantage of years ago.
You should be able to distract the satellites by firing probes near their position. Distract enough of them, and you'll clear an area long enough to safely beam down an away team. Picking up some debris clouds from Hur'q ships in orbit.
It's possible some Hur'q bypassed the satellites. We should be ready.
Looks like O'Brien's trick still works. The satellites took the bait, and we have a safe transport window. We're in position. I recommend we bring some pattern enhancers along. Local interference can make it tough to get a lock on, and we might have to leave in a hurry. All right, the doctor and I are ready to beam down when you are. Though I can't say I'm thrilled to see that moon again.
Ah, the wreckage of the Yangtze Jam. Or what's left of her, rather. Looks like the locals have scavenged everything of value from the old girl. Unlike her, they can never die thanks to the nanotech inside of them.
Right. The last time we were here, the prisoners were eager to be cured, if only to get the chance to kill their rivals off for good. I'm hoping that Opaka has shown them a better path in the time she's been here among them.
We're not alone. Hur'q life signs dead ahead. This is interesting. I just ran a medical scan on these Hur'q. They're not regenerating. There's no sign of the alien nanites in their bodies. Something in the Hur'q genetic makeup isn't compatible with the nanites. I suspect it only works on humans.
We're here to help. Keep fighting!
I think you'll find that she'll be in good health within moments. The healing nanites are quite effective. In fact, they seem to have become more efficient than they were last time I was here.
You can relax. I'm fine now. Really.
You made it. Good. The Kai's been expecting you. Yes, she's had a vision about you coming here. Come with us. We'll take you to her. Unless you'd rather stand around here until more of those things show up. The Kai's waiting for you, in the temple ahead.
Welcome. It's been some time since we've had peaceful visitors. And Kai Kira, it's been too long. Truly, the prophets have smiled upon us today.
Indeed they have. We have brought the cure. You'll be able to live a normal life away from here. You'll be free.
And we have something to bring with us. A miracle.
Is that?
Yes, a blessing from the prophets. The Orb of Peace. Through it, we ended the war between Ennis and Noel Ennis. As you can see, our peace has been shattered by the arrival of the hostile aliens. We have tried to speak with them, to find reason, but we have failed. We don't even know their name.
They're called Hur'q, and there's no reasoning with them. They attack and devastate every world, every species they encounter. We need to get you and your people out of here as soon as possible.
I see. We must take the orb with us as well. I can't have it falling into the hands of such a warlike species. It would be like the occupation all over again.
That's not going to happen. I won't allow it, and neither will my friends. We can administer the cure to everyone in groups. With your permission, we'll start right away.
Very well. Begin the procedure. I'm sure many of us are eager to leave this place and begin a new life together.
Some time ago, I asked Bashir for this cure. I wanted to use the cure as a weapon and kill the enemy. I couldn't put the war with the Knoll behind me. I hated him for denying my chance for vengeance. Now, that's changed, thanks to the Kai. I found a better path. I just want to lead a simple, natural life.
After all this time, to live a normal life, it's like waking up from a really bad dream. I can think about having a family again, an actual family. I don't know what else to say except thank you.
The cure, huh? Well, this cure had better work, friend, or we won't be friends no more. Get me.
Then it's true what the Kai saw in her dreams, those visions. The prophets sent us the orb, and now they sent you with our deliverance from this horrible place. Truly, the prophets smile upon us all.
Is this for real? This cure? They talked about it a little after the Kai arrived, but I thought it was a myth. Never thought it was actually real. So, I can die now. Funny, I never thought I would. And now that I can, I'm a little scared. Is that strange? When they put me here, all I knew was war. I don't remember why it started, just that there was us and the Ennis had to die. Even when the Kai came, I didn't believe. But when they found the orb and people stopped killing, things changed for me. Guess there's something to faith after all. Anyway, thanks for everything.
Looks like you're down to 1 dose of the cure. Use that to inoculate the Kai or Parker, that is. I'll administer the cure to the rest here.
You have my thanks for all you have done for us today. May the blessings of the prophets be yours.
Those things are attacking! Defend yourselves!
Colin's down! Medic! Someone help him!
I'm afraid he's dead. There's nothing we can do for him.
Though we will mourn the loss of our friend Colin, we can take comfort knowing that, at long last, he was able to leave this place for a better one. He is finally at peace, and his path will join the prophets in the Celestial Temple.
The doctor and I will stay with Opaka and her people in case the Hur'q make another attack here. Once you've cleared the way to the transport site, we'll join up with you there. Let's move the ship behind the satellites and lure the Hur'q in. Just in time. Here they come. Looks like the Hur'q have had enough for now. Let's get the rest of Opaka's people out of the colony while we can. The Hur'q might send a larger force to finish us off.
I'm glad I was able to administer the cure to the remaining prisoners while you were clearing a path to the transport site. Everyone is safely aboard and mortal for the first time in many years. I've never seen so many people overjoyed to learn that eventually they'll die.
Thank you, Julian. It means a lot to me to have everyone out safely, especially Opaka. We have a lot to talk about, her and I. For now, I think we should return to Deep Space Nine before the Hur'q come back to settle the score.
Welcome to Deep Space Nine.
Emissary, our paths meet again.
Hello, Ben. It's good to hear from you. I'm glad we were able to return Opaka to Bajor safely. She's determined to follow the will of the prophets and establish a new place of worship in the Gamma Quadrant near the wormhole. Odo assures me that the Dominion are open to discussing this. We'll see. Many of us have not forgotten the fate of the new Bajor colony, and the Dominion's role in that. As for me, my time as Kai is coming to an end. Opaka is the Kai that Bajor needs now. I intend to guard the Celestial Temple from the Hur'q and anyone else who would destroy the home of the Prophets. Best place to do that is Deep Space Nine, as part of Starfleet. I'll be Captain Kira the next time you see me. Thank you again for helping me bring Opaka home. I owe you one.
The Dominion has asked the Alliance to send an expeditionary force into the outer reaches of their territory. The Hur'q aren't as numerous there, and we're hoping we can learn more about them while we render aid to the Dominion in that sector. Ambassador Odo will be accompanying us on his flagship, along with Captain Kira aboard the Defiant. I'll be commanding a modest Cardassian fleet as well. We'll start in the Dosi system. Our latest intelligence has discovered a Hur'q presence in that area. Meet us there at your earliest convenience. Be seeing you.
Thank you for joining us. As you can see, we can't even defend our stations from Hur'q attacks. It's going to take a joint Alliance and Dominion effort to stop them. We're currently at the edge of the Dosi system. Thankfully, the Hur'q aren't attacking the Dosi homeworld yet. They're starting to evacuate as a precaution, however. The Dosi recently joined the Dominion after many years of independence. Their aggressive fondness for commerce can be troublesome, but they've managed to prove their worth to the Founders. Work on this planet was a joint project with the Karemans, and the Dominion built a station here to provide oversight.
All ships, target the Hur'q and fire at will.
Victory is life!
I can see you're a handy person to have around. And while I'd like to put this system far behind us, I believe we should find out what we can about the Hur'q and their reasons for being here. While we still can, of course. The Hur'q may decide to send more ships here. This planet appears to have been abandoned some time ago. No life signs detected. Sensors indicate an extensive network of defunct mines. I'm reading residual levels of dilithium, topoline, hemasite, and several components used in the production of Ketracel White. How curious. Of what use would this world be to the Hur'q? It's clearly of no value to the Dominion. Wait. I'm reading more Hur'q inbound.
They're going for the station. What are they after? We should scan the station once we're done with these Hur'q. No life signs on sensors. It looks abandoned. I'm picking up trace levels of mineral resources in several storage areas, but there's nothing of note here, unless the Hur'q are driven solely to consume an assortment of minerals. This is a very interesting place, in that it's completely uninteresting to everyone but the Hur'q. Don't go to warp just yet. We're picking up a distress signal over here. You should take a look. Looks like it's a Ferengi signal of uncertain origin coming from the Karema system. I seem to recall Quark mentioning some business with the Karemans recently. This can't be a coincidence. We should look into this. Quark might have bitten off more than he can chew again.
Is that really a good use of our time? The Karemans are very resourceful. They design a considerable number of weapons and defense systems for the Dominion. I'm confident they can deal with the Hur'q on their own. As for Quark, he's quite capable of getting himself out of trouble. Trouble, I might add, that he had no business getting into in the first place.
I must say, Ambassador, I'm shocked. I know Quark's a gambler, but I never realized you were as well. Karema is a part of the Dominion, and an important one at that. Is losing their tactical and technological resources to the Hur'q wise?
Very well. Since I can see there's no talking you out of this, I'll accompany you to Karema. We're ready to go warp when you are. Let's get this over with.
Where did all these ships come from?
And here we are, the Karema system. Let's find out what Quark needs, deal with it, and move on.
Far be it for me to question the word of a founder, but that is a very large Dominion fleet I'm reading on sensors. I only mention it because we were led to believe Odo's fleet was the last. I trust there's a reasonable explanation for this miscommunication.
Your presence is not required here. Explain yourself. What you could do and should do are separate matters, Solid. You would be wise to learn the difference. Karema is part of the Dominion. We are here to assist them, if they wish it. Odo commands an expeditionary fleet. It is his to use in a mission to seek and destroy the Hur'q as he sees fit. My fleet is a defense fleet. It seems the distinction was not made clear to you. How unfortunate. The Karemans are proud. If they wish to stand alone and deal with the Hur'q, we will certainly accommodate them. Should they decide to ask for aid, we will gladly assist them. The point may soon be moot, however. Karemans are known for their potent weapons and defense systems.
I will take responsibility for their actions in Kareman space. One of our operatives requires immediate extraction.
You're quite persistent, aren't you? Very well. In the spirit of our newfound pact with the Alliance, I will allow you to proceed, albeit at your own risk. Exercise caution, Odo. It would be tragic for you to come so far, only to end it all here over Karema.
It seems we're not getting the whole story here.
So, business as usual.
Exactly, Captain. signals are showing a broad band of interference in the area. It's jamming the standard Karemin hailing frequencies. Might I suggest giving them a new, more secure frequency to use for communications?
Hello? Can you hear me? We need help, and fast! Most of our planetary defense lines are in danger of being overrun by the Hur'q. We tried to evacuate, but the Jem'Hadar fleet opened fire on our ships when they broke orbit. We're trapped!
Combat is notoriously chaotic. I'm sure there's a reasonable explanation for that. One best pursued after we find Hur'q and help the Karemans.
I wonder. Ah, yes. We should try to find Hur'q soon. It's quite possible he's the only Ferengi on the planet. A deep-range sensor scan should locate him.
Finally, I was beginning to wonder if anyone would come. It took you long enough. Is Garrett with you? Tell him. I found the package, so he better get here fast if he wants it in one piece. Running out of time here! The Hur'q are closing in! Get me! Or Odo's right wrong ways will finally come down!
We need to get Hur'q out quickly, before he has an encounter with the Hur'q of the fatal variety. Let's go down together while Captain Kira and the Ambassador cover our ships in orbit. We'll have to beam down outside of Hur'q's location. I suggest bringing some pattern enhancers along. We may need them to beam out once we find him. We're about as close to Hur'q's last known location as we can get with transporters. I'm afraid we'll have to make the rest of the journey the old-fashioned way. Shall we? Hur'q's life sign is near here. Let's try to find a way in. How convenient! We've found a hidden path. Let's have a look. Interesting. The metal in the walls here completely scatters my sensors. More. My tricorder shows a Ferengi life sign beyond that rather secure door. Unfortunately, the Karemin security system is beyond me. Given time, I could crack it, but we're running low on that command. There are a number of Karemin life signs nearby, however. One of them might be able to help us reach Hur'q.
Thanks for the timely rescue. I don't suppose you'd be willing to turn a blind eye to all the contraband you've seen down here? It'd save me the trouble of shooting you later. Kidding. I was kidding. You know, humor. Do they have that on your planet? Anyway, you're clearly not Kremen police, so what brings you down here? Oh, Quark, yeah, I know him. Little guy, big ears, flashy dresser. I hear he owns a moon. And we locked him up in a secure room when the shooting started. Big spender like that should be kept safe. Tell you what, help us out with all these Nurks, Gurks, and whatever you call them. Help us, and I'll help you. Deal? All right, I'll wait for you here. Try not to die, okay?
Am I glad to see you? Thought for sure we'd be safe from those things down here. Caves do a number on sensors and transporters, but that didn't slow them down much. Filthy creatures. If you don't mind my asking, why are you here? You're not with Kremen Defense. Are you mercenaries? Private security? That'd be Quark, then. Only Ferengi around here that I know of, anyway. He's in a secure vault, not far from here, with another VIP. Look, I owe you my life, but I don't have the code to get to Quark. There are others nearby. One of them should have it. Help them, and I'll make sure they open the door for you. I swear it.
The other Dominion ships just left the system. We're on our own.
The door's right there. I'll stay here while you save everyone.
Eaten by one of those things. Can't say I like that idea much, so, thanks, whoever you are. You're not police, military, or Kremen military anyway. What brought you down here in the middle of hell? Oh, him. Think I saw my brother and some of his men hustle a little grifter into a vault before those monsters got in here. Good luck getting him out of there. Wait, that was rude. You just saved my life. Let me return the favor. One of my brother's people should be able to open the door for you. Find them, and you're all set. Perhaps waiting here would be best. The outer world is still a mess. And here we all are, alive and kicking. Wonderful! We had a deal, and I'm not about to back out on it, especially since you're all so well-armed and cranky. Not the kind of people I want to cross. Yeah, that can't be good. Door's open. You'd better get a move on. Your pal sounds a little stressed.
It's good to see you too, Quark. I see your mission was a successful one as well.
Yes, Garrick, I found your mysterious widget. What is it exactly? It's not Kremen tech. They found it a few days before I got here. I haven't had a lot of time to analyze it, thanks to the Hur'q.
I see. Thank you. This narrows things down considerably.
It does. Good. That makes it more valuable.
Indeed it does, my friend. Indeed it does.
Well, First Minister, it looks like my distress call was heard. We're saved. Thank you. Looks like your reputation for getting things done is well-deserved. And as for you, Garrick, you and I need to have a long discussion. Seems you forgot to mention that Karema was under a Dominion blockade and in the middle of a Hur'q invasion. Do Cardassians go senile? Oh, don't answer that. I don't want to know. What I do know is that you're not paying me enough for this aggravation.
Not the liberators I was expecting, but thank you nonetheless. I'm First Minister Bakelba. Our situation has gone from bad to worse, and we have the Dominion to thank for it. Those of us on the edge of the Dominion were abandoned when the invasion began. In light of that, Not the liberators, Those of us on the edge of the Dominion were abandoned when the invasion began. In light of that, we voted to secede, to truly stand alone. The Dominion stood by while the Hur'q attacked us. We held off the invasion for a while, but their numbers are great. When we asked for aid, the Dominion refused. When we tried to evacuate, their fleet opened fire. They mean to punish us for our defiance.
Hur'q are leaving. For now.
It would appear that the Hur'q burrowed this way to bypass the doors above. And unlike most burrowing creatures, the Hur'q actually ate their way through the ground.
Good luck with the revolution, Minister. You'll need it. You'll be hearing from me soon, Garrick.
I'm looking forward to it.
You won't when you see my bill.
Now that we're past that unpleasantness, I think it's time we had a chat with Ambassador Odo, particularly about this technological wonder we've acquired. I have my suspicions, of course. Suffice it to say, I believe you'll find its purpose of great interest to all concerned parties. My main curiosity lies in what the Ambassador will have to say about it. I propose we get to the bottom of this together. Excellent. I'll make all of the necessary arrangements and meet you aboard Odo's flagship.
What is this?
Stand down, all of you. To what do I owe this unexpected visit?
I hope you'll forgive the intrusion, Ambassador. We need to speak in person.
What are you up to, Garrick?
That's a very good question. What's this about exactly?
It's in regard to this device we found on Karema. Do you know what it is?
No idea. Some new Kareman military tech, perhaps?
Interesting. But no. The Karemans didn't make this. But it is a Dominion creation.
And its purpose?
I'm sure I have no idea, Ambassador. It does emit a signal, however. It's quite similar to that used by the Hur'q. Perhaps I should turn it on and show you?
There's no need for that.
I don't like where this is going, Garrick.
Nor I, Captain. You see, I found a similar device on Bajor.
On Bajor? When?
Right after the recent Hur'q attack, I'm afraid. Captain, scan the device. You'll find the soil residue on it is of Bajoran origin.
It does. It's from the Kendra province. Well, that doesn't mean that Odo...
Enough, Nerys. I can't have you defending me on this.
What?
Garrick's right. These devices call the Hur'q, and we put them there.
Explain. Now.
We needed the Alliance's help immediately. There wasn't time for summits or diplomacy. So I found a high-value target and led the Hur'q to it. I also took steps to make sure their attack would fail. Bajor was never at risk. You have to understand that.
You put my entire planet at risk. People died, Odo.
Nerys!
Save it. I've heard enough.
Please continue, Odo. You were saying?
I did what I needed to do to bring the Alliance into the war. I lied. Risked the lives of millions to save billions more. But there's more to this than a staged Hur'q attack. The other Founders are hiding things from me. If I challenge them now, I'll have no chance to find out what. So, for now, I have to play the part.
Well, you're doing a great job of that, Odo. Or should I say, Founder?
Trust me when I say I understand your position, Odo. The Captain, on the other hand...
I know. I have a strong lead, but I'll need your help to move on it.
You know how to reach me. It seems you are a gambler, Odo, and a high-stakes one at that.
You have no idea.
Quite the revelation, don't you think? It will be interesting to see how the powers that be respond to all this. For now, I think it's best to keep this in the purview of the diplomats. Let's return to our ships. There'll be more time to speak about this matter later.
I'm surprised to see you here, Weyoun. Aren't you usually at your founder's side, hanging on her every word?
It is a message from said founder that brings me here now. She would remind you of your purpose, to serve the Dominion as a whole.
How kind of you to deliver the message in person. Thank you for your service. As for my service, the ambassador shares his wisdom and guidance with me. Truly, he is a most benevolent god. Why should I not serve him? He is a founder, after all.
Serve the founders, yes, but also serve them well. Do recall the fate of your predecessor. She thought she served the founders well, quite possibly to the moment her unfortunate life came to its conclusion. As we both know, she was greatly mistaken.
The same could be said for your predecessor as well, dear Weyoun. Have you forgotten his sins? I know the founders haven't.
This is a private conversation. Unless you're here on a matter of the utmost importance, I suggest you find someone else to speak with. Somewhere else.
It is not my place to question the will of the Founders. Your mind, however, is your own. Do with it as you will, but be warned. The Founders do not appreciate betrayal. If the Alliance withdraws from their pact with the Dominion, the consequences could be severe.
I need you to understand that Bajor was never at risk. We took precautions. I made sure that my fleet was in position to neutralize the Hur'q in time. Karema was not my decision. Do you honestly think I'd take part in a plot to bring allies to our side, and then move to wipe out another group of allies? As I said to Garrick, there is more to this than we know. I'm going to find out what and why. I hope you're inclined to join me when the time comes.
Be seeing you. Odo's found something intriguing. I have some things for you to look at.